Welcome back to the Morning News. It is time for another season of Owning Your Outdoors, and this is kind of unusual. We're at the empty garden center at Lewis on Minnesota, the brand new Lewis.
It is the brand new.
And Doug Schroeder's the man, our garden expert. Doug, the weather's been kind of getting people down a little bit.
It has. Right now we usually have all sorts of annuals, and some of our perennials and shrubs are here by now. We've had to push that back this year just because of the weather we're having.
There are lots of plants getting ready to come.
I have a number of different growers I use throughout the country, and there is some beautiful product out there. We're just waiting to get to these and fill these compounds. Look at it as it's a blessing. Some of this moisture we're having right now is going to reap big benefits later.
True. And this is also a good time. It maybe gives you the procrastinators a little extra time to plan.
It does. It does. What I love to do is start planning when it's weather like this. What you should do is look at what you've done in the past, what has worked for you, and then start planning from there. I encourage people to try new varieties. Always try something new every year, and then start laying your garden out. Also, I recommend people don't overplant. People have a tendency to go big the first time out. Go small and work yourself up to a bigger garden later.
Otherwise, it probably gets to be a bit overwhelming if you're a new gardener just getting started.
It does. It can get away from you, and then it's a bad experience, and people have a tendency not to go back there next year.
So it's a good idea to rotate, just like a farmer does with the fields, to rotate your garden crops a bit.
It is. It is. You never want to plant something in the same space 2 years in a row. Plants require different nutrients from the soil, and sometimes they'll deplete that area. So it's a good thing to rotate, give everything a new space for the coming year.
And something that I think is kind of cool, there are plants that actually get along better with other plants, and you've got a great little guide here that folks can download.
Right. For planning, we're going to provide a number of guides this year. The one I call Friend and Foes. Not all vegetables get along. Some of that is chemicals in the soils. Others is just because some plants are more vigorous and take over a space. So this is just a guide of what to plant next to each other and what gets along. Another guide that we're going to provide is different groupings of when to plant things. Some vegetables are very hardy. They can take down to 28 degrees and do quite well, are the hardy vegetables. Then there's semi-hardy, take a little bit warmer weather. And then there's vegetables you really shouldn't plant till it gets warmer. One other that I've included that's one of my favorite is on how to pick the right tomato.
There's so many different tomato varieties.
There is.
How do you pick the right tomato?
You have to really look at the use. How are you going to use them? Are you going to can? Is it just for slicing? Is salads? Look at how you're really going to use the product and then pick from there. Tomatoes have a lot of different tastes too. One of my favorite varieties from last year was a new one I tried, was called Wisconsin 55. Produced really well and was very blight resistant. So one I plan on using again, but I always try a few new ones every year.
And the best part about this is with all the questions you might have, you're here, you've got an incredible garden staff at all the Lewis locations that are going to answer any question you might have, and they can help you along the way.
Yes, and Sean, one thing we're going to do this year, we're going to be spending a lot of time in my garden. So as the season goes along, I'll be fighting the same battles you do with different diseases, insects. We're going to work on this together.
First, we got to work on the weather together.
We do.
Right?
We'll get there.
All right.
We'll get there.
Doug Schroeder here at Lewis. You can get more at ksfy.com. You can download all these charts there. Just click Sean and Cammie and Owning Your Outdoors. We have to take a break. We're going to be back right after this.